You're listening to the Screen Team on 930 KWOC.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
To infinity and beyond!
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Please, what does it always mean? This Junior.
That's his name. Henry Jones Jr.
Like Indiana.
We named the dog Indiana.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I am your father.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Bond. James Bond.
And now the Screen Team on News Radio 930 KWOC. It's Saturday at 6 p.m. It is the Screen Team right here on Today's Talk 930 KWOC. All brought to you by 33 Productions, Poplar, Bluff Drywall, and Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. And the Screen Team is going to take a back seat today because we're being controlled. We're being taken over by Poplar Bluff's very own, the Ernie Lewis Band. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Ernie Lewis Band, you guys are from Poplar Bluff, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your band. What kind of music do you guys play?
A lot of polkas.
Really? I didn't know Poplar Bluff had a polka market.
Yeah.
We are the bar mitzvah king.
We have cornered it, and now we're trying to find something else to do.
That's not even close to true. We're Celtic gangsta rappers. I'll pop a cap in you.
Well, you guys are doing something really cool on today's show. We're having kind of a theme show, which we've never done before. You guys have picked all music movies for us today, and we're going to review them. And we're going to start with Jerry's first pick, and you did the classic A Hard Day's Night, right?
Yes.
Tell us why, out of all of the music movies out there, why did you choose this one?
Because he took the other one that I wanted to take.
Well, why was this your second choice then?
Actually, it was my first choice because I'm a Beatle fanatic.
Okay.
And I like the movie because it captures the excitement of even though they were established by then, everything was still young and fresh and woo and
right.
Just very youthful and exciting, and I get off on that and I dig that a lot.
So,
it's really cool.
So tell it. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen bits and pieces. Is it more of like a
You're
long...
missing out on a cinematic masterpiece.
But is it is it just like a long music video, or is it more than that?
No, it's more than that. It was written by Richard Lester, I believe. I know he at least produced it, and he did some other stuff with the Beatles too. Mm-hmm. Basically, they were trying to capture the excitement of Beatlemania because this is 1964, and that's back when people actually still congregated at airports and greeted bands, or at least the Beatles. So it was just trying to capture that pandemonium of and excitement of Beatlemania.
Right.
And from what I understand, all four Beatles, each one of them agreed that it was pretty similar to that. And like, you leave a car and someone's pulling your hair and grabbing your clothes and this, that, and the other. But then the actual movie is about Paul McCartney's grandfather being a troublemaker and trying to disrupt the band and plotting to make money off of them and stuff. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's good.
So does this kind of stuff happen in the Ernie Lewis Band?
Non-stop.
Oh,
This is the only shirt I have that I'm wearing. I'm wearing a shirt right now that's not ripped.
So, guys, what did you think about the movie?
Anybody that likes the Beatles needs to, if they haven't seen this, they need to see it. Because it's, like Jerry said, it spans what appears to be about a day or a day and a half. I mean, they get on a train. The whole, I guess if you were going to call it a plot, was just them going to
a TV taping.
To do a TV show. And I mean, they just act silly. Like you said, the footage of the little girls losing their minds, though, I mean, if they were extras, if
they had been men, then it would apply to Ken.
I mean, they weren't acting. They were
very excited to see the Beatles.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
So how much of the Beatles music was used in this? I mean, was there several songs?
Oh, gosh, yeah. And a whole album's worth, actually.
Yeah.
And here's a really neat thing. The song, A Hard Day's Night, was written for the movie literally like 2 days before they started shooting.
Really?
They were like, hey, we need a title. And the title actually comes from Ringo.
It was Ringo.
Yeah, saying that, it's been a hard day's night, saying they'd worked until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
And John Lennon, I guess, passed that on to the guy writing the movie, and they're like, okay, we need a song for that. And everything about the song Hard Day's Night even is for the movie. Even that opening chord, they're like, all right, we need an opening chord to really kick off the sound of that movie. So for the music folks out there that suspended G7th, that was entirely that's what it is. That's one of the like
can't do by themselves.
No, in fact, it requires 2 guitars and a bass to make that opening. Bring, but
learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah, it's really cool. But that chord was designed to start off the movie, and the outro of the song was meant to bring you directly into the beginning of the dialogue of the movie. So it's really cool. It's more than just a song that's really good.
It tells the story, don't it?
It does.
Jamie, what'd you think of it, man?
There's sadness.
Well, it's a classic. I would say if you were only going to see one movie about the Beatles,
no Yellow Submarine.
That's
Well,
rubbish.
That wasn't even
maybe
their
in
voice.
different circumstances.
They weren't even happy about that.
Because it really does. It does capture what we've been told for years and what they portray in movies and biographies and stuff of what it was like for a day in the life of the Beatles. So anyway,
so just out of curiosity, the whole girl fan craze, did that kind of bring the Beatles down for you guys? The whole, the girls going all crazy for them, kind of like, I don't want to like Justin Bieber now. Do you think it's the same kind of thing?
No, because the times have changed. You got to remember when the Beatles hit, the U.S. was still mourning the loss of JFK.
Mm-hmm.
They needed something like that. The country was depressed as a whole, and then these 4 guys from a dump in England. Liverpool's a dump. From what I understand, I wasn't there, obviously, but from what I gather, it really pepped up. It really did pep up the morale. So it was kind of nice for youth, especially sort of 50s oppressed baby boomers, to be able to let their hair down and act stupid. And honestly, you look at it now and you're like, good grief, that is really stupid. But you also have to factor in, too, rock music, the term rock music had 10 years tops. 10 years tops. And you had Elvis, who was in the military. Little Richard, who got religion. Buddy Holly died. Jerry Lee Lewis was blackballed,
doing what he was doing,
his thing.
Yeah.
And there were no heroes left. Chuck Berry, I think he had gotten into trouble, maybe possibly too. So
he liked to carry a gun, I heard.
Yeah, something about a gun. Yeah. But
heard he got into cinematography.
When you look at it and you compare it to someone like Justin Bieber, and you have such a wide time span, you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, that's goofy. But it was kind of needed, from what I understand. And it was like, wow, these are rock stars.
The big difference for me, Justin Bieber's closer to his fans' age.
Yeah.
And the Beatles were in their late teens or early 20s, and they've got these. They couldn't touch these little girls, but yet these little girls
worshipped them.
Yeah.
I
think George actually pokes fun at. Remember the scene where he's in there? He goes into the trendsetter guys.
Oh yeah.
He says, "Look at these shirts. This is what all the 15-year-olds are wearing." He just tells him, that's awful. That's awful. That's awful. Like, it's almost like a tongue in cheek. No, dude, you set the trends before, but we do now.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think obviously the movie wasn't made for anything but to capitalize off the fame of the Beatles. Of
course.
The plot's horrible. The acting. Ringo can actually act, I think. Like that scene where he's just walking by himself. And the guy, and obviously he went on to have a
Thomas
less
the Train.
than stellar. Well,
Caveman.
Caveman. He did some stuff with Peter Sellers, I think, too, right?
Yeah.
So, he actually did get involved in movies, but...
all right, man.
For what it is, it's a fun watch. It's a very fun watch. I highly suggest getting with your buddies on a sad, lonely winter night, pass around a bottle of Hooch. Watch it.
It's a Hard Day's Night, recommended by the Ernie Lewis Band. Coming up next, we're going to review the movie called Walk Hard. We'll do that next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.